This video is brought to you by Skillshare. Now, what do all these clips have in common?
Break them down.
It's been a minute, but we're back in it with a series where we break down and analyse viral parkour clips and expose some of the secrets as to how they were created. In this episode, we're analysing some of the most famous parkour videos that have a dirty little secret, and that secret is crash mats. Now, I'm not saying that using crash mats is bad. There's a lot of times when you need to use a crash mat for safety. However, in these particular videos, people have specifically and deliberately removed crash mats from view to fool the audience into thinking that the movement was real. Some of these are also extremely famous and important community parkour videos. Let's get into the analysis. So our first video is the cult classic Storm Origins. One of the more influential videos of its time, the video shows 3 parkour athletes going through one of the gnarliest initiation sequences to a parkour team I've ever seen. From being hit by a car, being shot, even set on fire by a man with a flamethrower backpack. But there's one clip at the very beginning of the video that I want to focus on. Now, you'll notice Blue, in the blue t-shirt, does a huge diving front flip off this car park and down to a roof below. Now, Blue is one of the most original athletes. He's been training since 2005 and doing some incredible stuff, so no discredit to Blue here. Now, if we check the landing on the clip, the roll looks a bit strange. Blue's feet seem to disappear just before he lands, and then as he lands, he actually kind of compresses into the ground in a really weird way, and the clip cuts pretty quickly to a different shot afterwards. So there is definitely something happening here, but for this one, I don't actually need to guess as to how they've done it, because I can show you. I reached out to my friend Claudiu, who was the director of this original video, and he actually kindly sent me the raw, unedited clips of this shot. And here you can see that both of the jumps in this sequence, both the front flip and the following roof gap, were actually done to crash mats, and then they removed them in post-production. In fact, a lot has been done to this video in post-production. You can see that Claudiu has also removed these 2 guys from the background, changed the time of day completely and added lens flares. But that being said, you can just check the comments of Storm Origins to see how many people thought this flip was real. And I actually do think this flip is doable for real. If you don't know, there's an Australian parkour beast called Dom Tomato who is renowned for doing these huge front flips. And I think he could probably do this for real without any crash mats at all.
Shut up, baby, I know it.
And right after the first flip, there's a second jump as I mentioned before, and that one was also faked as well. Also, there's a funny mistake in this video where if you notice Phil in the red t-shirt has quite long hair at the start of the race. However, he jumps down this staircase and suddenly his hair is really short. Phil was way ahead of his time with these illegal COVID staircase haircuts. So this leads us on to our next video. And this one is a live action POV video based on the video game Mirror's Edge. But before we go into that, let's talk about today's sponsor, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creators, including loads of lessons on video editing, green screen and camera tracking, and 3D asset creation. I've been brushing up on my own masking skills with a DIY green screen for film class by Paul Trillo, which has been really insightful in helping me refine my keying and masking for when I want to create my own fake parkour videos and
Fool you all.
Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new classes, so you'll be able to stay up to date with the latest tools and techniques. It's less than $10 a month with an annual membership, and the first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free premium trial. I want to see you creating some hilarious fake parkour clips of your own, so send me what you make and I'll use them in a video. Thank you, Skillshare. So this leads us on to our next video, which was filmed by the same director as Storm Origins, Claudiu. And in this video, it's a time trial through the city, and the POV hero, he's fighting off guards, he zip lines from roof to roof, and he even gets shot by an attack helicopter on the roof of Croydon Shopping Centre. Now this one is obviously more of a stunt video than the last, so don't come at me saying, "Oh Scott, it's obviously not real, do you think movies are real too?" Because I know that, no one's going to believe an attack helicopter is actually flying through Croydon. But there is one jump in this video that looks 100% real, and it's known in the parkour community for being absolutely massive. In fact, the Storers actually went there and did this jump with crash mats just to prove it was doable, but it's only been done with crash mats, or so I thought. Because in the Mirror's Edge video, we see it done without any mats, and this jump is huge. But Claudiu sent me the original clip of that one as well. And what do you know? That's right, another crash mat. I mean, You really didn't see it coming, did you? But the VFX work in this video is actually amazing. You can see here, he's even sent me the ungraded raw clip, and it's so hard to tell there was a crash mat removed. Claudiu, well done. Everybody, little round of applause for Claudiu. Oh yeah, well done, Claudiu. Excellent editing work. You can kind of see it. If you compare these two frames back and forward and look around the edge of the window, you can see there's a bit of shifting, and that's because he's basically replaced the entire patch of the roof to hide these crash mats. But to be honest, with YouTube compression on YouTube, on the original footage, you can't tell that they've been removed. And the only real clear evidence that this shot was fake is if you look at the feet on this shot here, they look like they've been kind of stuck onto the environment. There's a weird glow around them, and that's because he's had to blend that shot with the roll he's filmed afterwards. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, 90% of you are not subscribed, so whack the button and the bell. Now our next video is another classic parkour video filmed by Giles, who also helped shoot Storm Origins, and in this one is a brilliant example of a failed removed crash mat. So in After Dark, two athletes tear up this London shopping centre while it's closed at night. We see Jaden Clark doing this huge front flip down from a second floor balcony onto the marble floor below. But for this one, I don't even need to ask for the raw clip to prove there was a crash mat. How can you easily tell this jump was done to a crash mat? Well, there's one massive giveaway. Did you work it out? Look at the reflection of the glass roof. Oh look, a big blue crash mat. Oh, I wouldn't have guessed. From the flip shot from the balcony, it's pretty difficult to tell because you almost don't see the landing anyway. Most people will just show the athlete starting to roll before cutting to another shot to dodge this. It means you have to do less VFX. And hiding crash mats in this way has been a joke in the community for ages.
Storyblog, don't use mats. That's
However, in the next video, which was shot for Red Bull, we see examples of them either cutting landings completely or using different landings to the ones that should have been used instead. So I'd suspected this video was fake for a while, and I actually reached out to DK, and DK is now going to explain a little bit about the project, which clips were fake and which ones were actually real.
Hey everyone, my name is DK and I'm a professional free-running athlete from Greece. Basically what you will be watching right now is a video clip that I did back in Switzerland. I think it was in 2016 with my friend Kevin Fleury. It was a shooting for Red Bull Switzerland. However, there were a few fake clips in this video clip. One of them is the huge gainer we did from like a very high building. Obviously you will see that the landing is cut. Definitely there were some mats there. We did have some huge mats. It was pretty sketchy, to be honest, and it was very scary even with the mats. Then we did another one which is very clear that is a fake clip. It's me doing a monkey precision to like a small ledge, and then Kevin shows up and he pushes me and I do a backflip to concrete and then I back roll. Then he does a con gainer of those rails directly to concrete, which is impossible, I can tell you. Not impossible directly, but it's very dangerous. We put the mats again for those clips. Some of you will ask, why did you use the mats in the first place? You never know what happens in your life. I wanted to have this as my CV. You know, I did this job and there were mats there, I used this one, etc, etc. There was one thing that I didn't like for this shoot, and it was because of these fake clips, the real ones are being covered. We put fire on ourselves, which was 100% real. Some people thought that it was fake because they saw the fake clips earlier on, but no, this one was real. Also, I did one of the biggest con gainers, I think in history. It was pretty high and it was also on very hard floor. There were like small rocks and right under there was concrete. Yeah, I did this one twice, but that was real. That's it. Crazy video, crazy shooting. Thank you Ambisound for the opportunity. See you.
And there you have it. Some of the most famous parkour videos have secret crash mats all along. Did you know any of these clips were fake? Did you believe the front flips were real? And more interestingly, where do we draw the line between a stunt video and a real parkour video? For the next video in this series, I'm thinking about doing something more video gaming. Would you be interested in that? Let me know. Thanks again to our sponsor Skillshare, and I'll see you in the next one.